it kind of helped them advance. I mean, do you think this was a conspiracy?
Gotta go with Jacob Putter. Gotta go
No,
lefty.
we're talking about the players. That's tournament champion into the podcast.
There he is, right there.
Oh, he doesn't even know how to watch. Go to youtube.com and search Down Lane Podcast. What's up, bowlers? Welcome to Down Lane Podcast. We are streaming live from the lab at Town and Country Lanes here on the Down Lane Bowling Channel. I'm your host, Kyle Haines, and with me is the assistant to the host, Anthony Scaccia, former champion, and
That's right.
producer, control man, all of the above, Austin Van Buren. Welcome back to the show.
I'm just happy you guys keep having me back.
You guys need to put Deke's thing up. I am never late because I am always on my own time.
Always late.
Which can never be late.
Guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, click the bell to get alerts from the channel. If you can't watch on YouTube or Facebook, you can always download and listen via your favorite podcast service. And while you're doing that, please give us a 5-star review or a thumbs up or a heart symbol or whatever your system uses. Tonight, we got about a lot to talk about. We're talking to Anthony, Jesus, you're sitting right next to me.
We are talking to Anthony.
Andrew, I'm going to go for a shot at his name. Lazarchick.
Yeah, well, you know, us lefties got to stick together and get some cool names in there with the same letters because why change? We're first in your heart, first in the alphabet.
And then we're going to talk about some local stuff that's happening here and amongst other bowling topics. So without any further ado, let us bring in Mr. Lazarchick.
Do I clap?
The $20,000 Northeast Megabuck champion. What's up, man?
Nothing. How are you guys? I cannot hear a thing.
So I don't know.
Are we
Can you hear
back?
us now? Check
Yeah.
one. That's all right. Our producer doesn't know what he's doing. It's all on his shoulders.
I didn't touch a thing.
I will say that I don't know how to work this either.
Yeah,
I'm pretty
We've
clueless.
all
I think when I
failed.
switched to this camera setting,
Yep.
it auto muted me
Oh.
for some reason.
Ew.
Do you want to bring him back in like a cool intro?
Oh, yeah. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen,
That's better.
champion, $20,000 champion of the Northeast Megabuck, Mr. Andrew Lazarchick. It's only been
It worked this time.
all right. It's only been a couple of times that we've completely botched this audio. So now everybody should be able to hear us. How's it going tonight?
It's good. How are you guys? Thank you for having me.
No problem. I was commenting earlier on how it looks like you got a nice little throne there. Got a little setup. It looked like maybe you're a gamer.
A little bit. I'm actually downstairs using my brother's chair, but I have a setup upstairs.
Nice. What's your go-to?
I don't know. Fortnite, Call of Duty.
Yeah, my kids play Fortnite. I feel like it's a
Sometimes
little too
Red
much
Dead.
for them.
Red Dead
Yeah.
Redemption?
Oh,
Yeah,
modded Red Dead
Red
is
Dead 2.
way fun.
Okay. I never played those, but they look like fun because you just beat people up.
Yeah.
I think, right? Yeah, you just do whatever you want.
Yeah, you can like.
It might
you
be
know, play
downloaded
the
on this
safe route,
computer.
Play the safe route or just go reckless, and 98% of the time I'm going reckless.
Yeah, I love that. I love that.
Is it like the modern day Grand Theft kind of thing, or
Yeah, I would
No, it's
assume
like
so.
Western based, like, you know, like 1840s themed, but like
Whoa.
GTA, you know, own
Yeah.
character, just going around town galloping.
Taking people's horses.
I'll open it up for him after the podcast.
Oh, I appreciate that. I've never played, but it looks like a blast.
All right, so Andrew, how are you feeling? We had this. We actually got to experience this last year. By we, I mean Anthony couldn't fit into the bowling alley. His head was so big.
Wow, that was not that bad. I was not that bad.
As the past champion of the Northeast Megabuck, but how are you feeling about it? It must be pretty crazy to have that check in your hand. Probably already went to the bank this morning or Monday morning. How's it? What's it like?
That was like the first thing I did, starting to clear up now. And I don't know, it's still humbling and like just like a lot of work to get to this point, a lot of failures and whatnot. So it's like surreal. It's like, okay, keep on going at this. And now it's just like rolling it over to the PBA. So it's like, all right, I did one cool thing, but there's still bigger things ahead.
Sure. Is that your plan here? Are you going to PTQ or are you what are you planning?
Yeah, I'm gonna do every PTQ this year.
Wow, good for you. Are you on Andrew's hall? That is, are you in his crew or I know he's got a few guys that like he rooms with and stuff. I didn't know if you were part of that.
I mean, I'm a little too late. I know he already has his plan set up for the year, so I think I'm just gonna like roll by myself.
Nice. Sleep in the car if needed.
That is my kind of guy right there. I mean, going out there by yourself, you get to have some time to think to yourself too. You don't have to have all these guys around you, so you're able to kind of have a clear head and go through all your thought process. Might be a little bit different because I sometimes bring Kyle, which doesn't help because he's right-handed. These guys have no idea how to bowl. So trust me, we've talked about it all the time. You'll have a clear head, full heart, can't lose. I'm pretty sure somebody said that once, but I believe in you.
It can be the opposite though. Like if you're left too long alone with your own thoughts, can also be not helpful when it comes to sports or bowling or whatever.
Yeah, but here's the thing. He's left-handed. He's in his right state of mind. So I 100% agree. I think that he'll be fine out there. You righties are in the other side. You guys just don't get it. Like us lefties should run the world.
Mm-hmm.
We know how it's going on. We know how to bowl. He's in his right state of mind. He'll be fine out there.
Half the finals field should be left-handed. Is what Anthony would think.
I think he should be more. Why not?
I don't know. We got some serious audio. Anyway, so what we're talking about? Oh, left-handed. So that brings me to one question that's qualifying. Is this true? Did we lose you again?
Now we're back. Yeah.
Oh, there you are. So is it true that you only bowled 4 games for qualifying? You shot that giant number and then you were done?
Yeah.
I
didn't even sign up for that block. Like I only had one block signed up. I think it was the 2 p.m. and I stayed with Andrew actually at his house. I drove with him in the morning. They had like so many openings. So I'm like, all right, I'll bowl. And I got 3 shots of practice. And like, I'm just sitting there like, my thumb was 7 times the size it was the day before, filing things. So I'm like, all right, I'm not even going to go in anything. I had no expectation that block.
Wow.
And you shot 1050?
Yeah.
You should do that more often. That's awesome. I mean, I will say, listen, I had almost 800 for the first 3.
Is this the first block, second block, or third block?
Last shift that I always bowl in the 11th hour. I think you were back there watching. Is that true? You were watching me to see if I could catch you?
So Scott Camp was bowling next to you, and he also roomed with us. So we stayed. Andrew and I already made it. We stayed to watch him. And I think it's game 3. Game 3, the scores get posted. I'm like, someone has 120 something over for 2. I'm like, what's going on here? And Andrew's like, oh no, you're not worried. And then I say the name and he's like, oh, and he's like, he's right here. And we see that you have like the front 4 or 5. You were bowling right next to Scott. And I'm like, Andrew, we're sitting in the back. I'm like, I'm toast. Like literally we were just watching you shred racks. And I'm like, yeah, the number's going to get passed. I should have bowled because I had the 809 and going into the 10th, the last game, I still had 279 out. I big 4 in the 10th, the first ball for 45. So I was frying out instantly after the block, saying like, I'm not gonna have enough. They're 5-1. They're dead walled.
Well, I mean, when it's 1050 though. I mean, it's
a lot of bowling pins.
Yeah, and I will say I saw what I had after 3, and I said, well, I'm basically 200 over at this point. I need 250, which is a stellar game still out there. You still have to execute the shot and everything. But 12 games in, and we are into the last game, and I'm like, well, I can catch him. And I was like, I'm going to catch him. And then I threw 2 shots and said, I'm not going to catch him. Because it was a lot, and I don't think I struck in the first 2 shots. I ended up having a little bit of hand pain on my thumb. I was trying to grab it so hard and hit it so hard. I don't know. They were a little bit tight for me that shift, and I could just send it left and hit it hard and strike. So, Andrew I think I came up to Andrew, and he's like, man, you really got to do that to us after the block. He's like, you had us nervous that, that you were going to jump him. And I said, dude, even it doesn't even matter. You had your buy set up, which in this tournament is extremely important, because I've learned that the first few rounds are an absolute, I don't want to say crapshoot, but it's a crapshoot. You literally have to shoot like 260 to make it through. So that buy is so important. So,
dude, the first game on our pair, we had one guy that, unfortunately for him wasn't close, but then me, Eric Stangl, and then I'm forgetting the third guy's name. We're all in the 10th with 240, going for 240. Eric shoots 246. The other guy who had a 279 game going opens in the 10th and shoots 244.
Yeah,
I could strike out for 247. It was wild.
Yeah, it's crazy. So that buy is so important. So I was really just trying to catch the buy. I actually only wanted 220. Of course, I wanted to catch you at 100. I think I would have had been 253 over, if I'm correct. You were 252 over. Oh, I would have had been 55. Even easier, but so sure. I could only get to I think I shot 170 that game. I didn't bowl my best that game, but I knew I was in enough to make it to the next day. But I mean, you shot 250 over. I mean, you didn't think anybody was going to catch you, but at the same time, were you worried about being caught from somebody and only getting a bye into the semifinals or whatever? Or did you really just want that final bye just to get to the finals?
I think
were you that worried about it?
The first whole squad after, I was worried actually about it. Like, just because the way I ended, big 4, first ball in the 10th, you don't even spare there.
Right.
And back at home, when they put out the 5-1, the scores go insane. Like, there's people bowling 1080s, and then 1050. There's like 3 or 4 guys in that 1070 to 1050 range. And then there's like a handful of people in the 1,000 range. So like, I don't know. This is my first time coming up in the area bowling on the China, not like bowling a regional. And I really didn't know what scoring pace was. Everyone's like scores high. So once I got, acclimated in the first game, because the first game I bowled 251 in like an odd way. I like Greek church somewhere on the front 7, get bad count. Then I get like 6 somewhere, some weird thing like that. But once I got like relaxed, I just kind of knew I had a look. And I don't know. I felt like they were soft, but I'm just so used to scores being high back home when they're soft like that.
Right.
Oh, they were definitely soft. I don't know if it's the mixture of players that make it a little tougher, or if it's maybe something to do with the lane surface there. That's the rec lane surface, right? Like the whatever they call it,
the boutique
mm-hmm. Lane surface, right? So maybe that has something to do with it. But regardless, the scores are high. They're not outrageously high, like 1080s, but close. But there's only, I think there was like 4 or 5 in each division of thousands, and then they kind of drop down from there in the 2.
Which is a similar scoring pace to last year. So
mm-hmm.
I don't think it'll change too much. And I had a great question for you, and now I can't even remember what I'm talking about.
Well, I'll ask my question first. So you were using Black Pearl, I think. Is that right?
Yeah, the Black Hammer, and I throw a 16-pound one in those for more differential.
Yeah. So did you even think of bringing purple, or not even carry it anymore?
Yeah. So funny story about that. I woke up late and I had 2 X-Out Kentucky purples in my car, a normal Kentucky purple, then a New Mexico purple, a black hammer, and I think that's it for urethane balls. And I only took the black hammer and the Kentucky purple because which bag they were in. I took the wrong bag. So I had reactive balls that just sat in Andrew Hall's car. I walked in with 3 bowling balls.
That's awesome.
That's nice.
Well, that's just typical left-handed. So
yeah,
that's
no kidding.
Now I'm left-handed too, as
yeah,
you saw.
Still brought 12, 15 bowling balls and or maybe 9 bowling balls. You needed 2.
I brought 3 urethanes, and then I mean, first of all, we're both left-handed, so he understands because he's in his right mind. The left is always built for urethane 90% of the time.
No kidding.
So you always bring it. He knows. He's shaking his head here. I can see it. So you always have to bring like 3 of them. 2 or 3 of them, and then you kind of build around the reactive stuff, just because we don't really, I mean, at this place there is a lot of front hook, which I saw you were totally far right with that black hammer. You were able to bend it really well. I don't think I was, I mean, I did bend the Zen U pretty well. I just was not sharp enough to bowl with it. So that's why I switched. I might have been the only person in the finals throwing reactive, and I'm on the left side, which is not. I'm a urethane connoisseur. Don't typically throw the reactive stuff, but you were bending it pretty well. So, I mean, did you get a scouting report from Andrew? Did he tell you that, hey, urethane is the absolute bomb on this pattern? It was very similar to last year. Did he give you any insight, or did you just still kind of say, I'll see what it is and I'll pick what I want as I get there?
That and Dennis told me before I came up, he's like urethane fest. So I was like, I stocked up and made sure I had the ones that I like.
Yeah.
You know, and I think 3 of them all have different grips. Like 2 of them are from college, changed my grip since then. And then there was like another one that I drove probably 3 years ago, I would say, that I had changed my grip since then. And I'm like, I don't care. I'm bringing them. It's urethane fest. You got to make it work.
Yeah, I agree.
So Dennis Bissonette, I assume you're talking about lefty. Uses purple a lot. I had the same, not look, I guess, but because I'm right-handed, I'm on the right side of the lane.
First of all, let's just
Correct
put this
side of
out
the lane.
here. False. Let's just put this out here. I had to fix his purple hammer and say,
yeah.
do you want this purple hammer? Oh, I don't know. I might not use it. And I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to fix it and make you bring it. And then what did you do with it?
Shot 960.
Oh, yeah, you're welcome. Because if you didn't have it, you probably wouldn't have shot 960.
I mean, Andrew only beat me by 100. Almost.
Well, he's not in your division, so you don't have to worry about it.
That's right. I was in the old man division. But yeah, that place was the farthest I've ever been able to get left with a purple. Usually once I start moving even just a little bit left, it just starts going dead straight. But for whatever reason, maybe it is because of the front hook, I was able to move into 14, 15 and actually hook urethane, which is unlike me because I have, no revs and whatever. But,
yeah, your rev rate's like 120.
Okay.
So then my next question to you, you only got to bowl 1 shift. So my question to you would be, I mean, I always have to bowl 3. It does not matter. I am an 11th hour. I am like the midnight man. Like you put me in front, I'm going to bowl good that 3rd squad. My question to you is, you only got one shift to bowl. So obviously you kind of get around the house kind of well. For me, because I always have to bowl 3, I get a decent feel of how the high end and the middle and the low end are playing. Did you have any scouting report on that? Did you think about that as you were going into the next day? Did you have any information on that? Or did you just kind of go in blind and just kind of said, I'm just going to play my game and that is what it is?
I guess a mix of both. When you have people, saying things, sometimes the information's right, sometimes it's wrong. You see the lane different than they do. So I was getting some like tips moving throughout the house from people, this pair does this pair does that. I don't know. I kind of kept it basic. I hit my ball at 240 in the morning, the first day.
240 grit.
Yeah.
Smart man.
And then
Smart man. I love it.
The next day, everybody was telling me how much they hooked. So when I went in to go warm up, I was patient on that. Don't bust out the 240 just yet.
Right.
I end up still hitting it with 240 grit, but this time I smoothed it out with a 1500 pad because they definitely were hooking more, but 500 wasn't enough. And like I knew 240 was too much because I threw it and it was just getting offline instantly. But that was kind of my goal, just try to get the ball to get offline as quick as possible so it just stops in the back part of the lane.
Right. Kind of like a hook set kind of motion.
The finals were like almost completely different pattern, well, not pattern wise, but play wise. I think I was 5 left of where I started on the fresh on Friday, or Saturday rather.
Played them exactly the same. I think like one board right. So going into the finals, you had to bowl Switchfoot, Michael Mirabile. Yeah, that was a tight match. If I remember correctly, you were behind for a little bit. Is that right?
Yeah, and then he split somewhere, and that changed the whole match because I went like spare, strike, spare, and he had like 270 pace going, and he split somewhere, so then he just fell behind me.
Right. So my question to you would be is, as you're getting into that part, because that's your first game bowled, right? You just had practice on the low end. You just jump into the finals, which can be a extremely tough thing to do. And you're behind. What's your mindset? Are you trying to stay patient, or are you saying, well, the scoring pace is really high, so I gotta get everything I can here? Or are you trying to stay, like I said, a little bit more patient and see what happens? What was your mindset going in there? Because you haven't really bowled too much up until that point. What were you thinking?
It's the same thing every time. My goal is to get up there and knock down 10.
I freaking love it. It is. You are like, I don't know if you're like me, but I just get up there and throw it. I mean, I'm not trying to think too much, especially when you're bowling at that point in time. You're so close to the $20,000 match. I don't know. I don't know if you've heard the story, but when I did win last year, Andrew Hall immediately texted me. And he was like, hey, man, hey, congrats. And I literally looked at my phone and I was like, did I win? Because at that point in time, I don't know if you looked at the scores. I didn't look at the scores. I know. Okay, so see, freaking, we get it. Like, I didn't look because it didn't matter to me. I was just like, I'm just going to try and throw strikes. And it seems like you have a simple mind just like I do. So it was just left-handed. You guys should learn. You should actually take notes.
Yeah, throw it in one spot all day. I get it.
What's wrong with that? Just change balls or just keep doing the same thing. So it seems like you kind of had the same mindset. And then I was also down last year in the same time. I did have to throw the back 7 to win. So it seems like you had to kind of do the same thing I did. And then in the final match, we literally almost had the same scores. This is like a storybook. Me and you had the same thing.
Storybook that nobody's reading.
That's right. So in the finals, did they re-oil for you guys before you guys went back out? I know you do like the promo stuff. So they did re-oil because it seemed like you guys jumped into it really fast. We were on our way home. Our buddy lost in the round before. And I said to somebody on the way out, somebody's going to have a tough time beating Lazarchick because I think you had a better look than the other guy did. The other lefty. It was either one of you were going to win. But did you guys re-oiled? What was your plan going into that? Did you hit it with surface? Did you hit your ball with surface again? Or did you kind of see how the lane was going to play as you warmed up?
We had 15 minutes, which I think is way too long. Honestly, yes. I would have just went right in. No practice. We all bowled, just go for it. Right. But I guess with the re-oil, they want to give us practice. Cool. I actually asked everybody, I'm like, hey, can we, start? I think we still had like 6 minutes left. I'm like, is everyone good? Like, I'm ready.
Yeah, that's crazy. It is a long time.
Yeah, so I think there I hit my ball at 500.
Yeah,
they do 12
I didn't get my elbow into it. It was just a nice little,
just a nice little, just a nice little love, just a little love touch right there. You know what I'm saying? I think I did the same thing. The only thing I did different is you were trying to get everybody to go. We had people still trying to throw strikes. So for the spare shots, I would throw them between my legs and see if I could make it.
And you wonder why they think you're dishonorable.
Yes. They wonder why I am the way I am, but I was having a good time with it, and I was throwing. Yeah, you can go back.
Mockery of this tournament.
Well, when you get 15 minutes, and
it's way too long, dude.
Well, he had practice. I had practice last year down there, but then even if you make it from the before that, I think the two-hander in the handicap division and Bobby Fleetwood, those two guys, they were in the eliminator all day. So those guys, do they really need another 15 minutes? I bet you Bobby Fleetwood, he was in the senior division. The dude had to be like, where's the oxygen tank? It is, I am tired. Because he bowled, I think he bowled from the beginning.
He bowled, I think you're right, from all the way first game.
Yeah, and he is one of the older guys, you know what I mean? He bowled great, but it's got to be, even for me, I'd be like, shoot, man, I don't even know if I can throw another shot. We bowled 12 games on friggin' Saturday, and my hand was screaming at me at the end, hey, stop trying to hit it so hard. But yeah, I guess that's how I did it. You were trying to get them all going. Did you guys end up cutting it early and get into it? You did? Okay. All right.
Nice.
Well, that's not a bad thing to do.
Well, they got to get the commercial breaks in, man. They got to, get their sponsors
yeah,
in.
yeah. Did you look at the scoreboard that match?
I think it was right after I tripped the 6-8. I finally looked up because I knew everyone was kind of striking and whatnot. And then I see, and I'm like, wait, we're all within 3 pins of each other.
Yeah, that was insane.
Yeah.
And then that's when it was just like, all right, go back to the same mindset, just go blank stare at the lane, what you were doing, sit there, get up, throw your ball, make the best shot possible, sit back down, do it over again. Like, you're already this far in. You have like a few more shots to throw, and then they just started to go dead flush.
That's nuts. That's awesome. All right, we're going to ask you a couple questions about you in a second. But before we do, don't forget to like, subscribe, click the bell to get alerts from the channel. Listen on your favorite podcast service if you can't watch on YouTube.
Don't you have this written down where you can figure it out?
I didn't bring my notes today.
Oh.
It's all off the cuff.
That's what I like.
And don't forget to email us at downlanepod if you have any questions or comments or want to send in your swing video so that Anthony can make fun of you or give you some tips.
I don't make fun of people normally. I'm more of a pretty nice guy. I do have a question. Can I jump in again?
It's time for more questions.
Good. Hopefully I'm not bothering you, Andrew. But all right.
That's what he's here for.
I know. I'm just making
You are
sure.
an absolute idiot.
I'm a nightmare on this thing, if you can tell. My question is, I think I've seen on the face base like once or twice. They were talking about go-to layouts, stuff like that. I if I recall, which I definitely don't, because half the time I don't remember a lot of things. But I'm pretty sure I've seen that your go-to layouts like 40 by 4 by 5. Is that real? Yep. Am I right?
Stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's insane.
Like,
I don't know how you do that.
The black hammer I use had a 0 VAL.
Yeah, you're really trying to get that son of a gun going, huh?
Yeah.
Roll up.
Yeah, and then you're using 240 on it. Holy crap, that's impressive. And then the other reason I ask is because I've bowled on this pattern called Earl Anthony like 3 times, 4 times, and I seem to never ever strike on this pattern. And I think you bowled to my left at the regional in Glens Falls. I can't 100% remember, but I'm pretty sure you did. I never noticed because I hate that pattern. I'm just trying to like make my spare. And then I look to my left and I'm like, who the heck is this lefty? I've never seen you before. It was the first time I've seen you, and you are just hyping it and striking right on from the left side. And I'm like, how the heck is he getting his ball to hook like that? And my ball's backing up. Not saying that I throw it, but like I'm a little bit slower. I was throwing it slow, and he was just friggin' throwing absolute missiles. So you're telling me that that's what I need to
Lasers. He's throwing lasers.
Yeah, okay. That's what I need when I'm bowling on the Earl Anthony pattern. Is I need a ball that's drilled like you. Is that what you're telling me?
It's crazy. I thought they were flying. That's why I was throwing heaters at that regional.
Well,
good stuff.
Like, but
That's
that
good.
was because I was sliding into around 8. Like, I made sure I was left and on top of it.
No,
I
you
wanted
were-
my
yeah,
ball at
you
1
were-
too.
yeah, you were on. Oh, I watched, and I said I don't know how to do that. I should learn.
Yeah, because you're left-handed and you hook it. You throw it to 1-2, but that's from 15.
Yeah, but I got the tricks, dude. I got voodoo in my hand. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Sure.
just on that pattern, apparently, as a lefty, I don't understand why they would name that pattern after a lefty because I haven't made the cut yet.
And make it 42 or 3 or whatever.
44, 43 feet
Yeah.
with 33 milliliters. I don't know. I
It's
don't
not a
understand.
left-handed
They
pattern.
literally put you at 1-2. They force
Yeah.
you at 1-2.
Yeah, and I agree with you on that one. I was just wondering because I watched you bowl, and you're probably the only lefty besides Packy who's two-handed who I can't even look at because he's two-handed, and you killed that pattern. So I need to drill more bowling balls like that, I guess.
Or at least just get on the gutter.
I can get on the gutter.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, all right, fine. I don't really get on the gutter, okay, Andrew? You watch me bowl this week. I'm usually the one who's hooking urethane or hooking something else. I am a little bit slower, but I will try my best to be like you next time I bowl in that pattern. I'm going to be like this $20,000 winner here.
That's right. And not the $20,000 winner from last year.
Exactly.
All right, so you're down from Jersey, right?
Yeah.
Where about in Jersey are you from?
Brick, New Jersey. So that's like on the shore.
Oh, cool. Jersey Show. Did you know those guys?
Yeah, that's like the town over.
It's like the town over. See, he's not even laughing at your jokes.
I know. It's not a joke. It was just
But you laughed.
it was thanks. They're close. Anyway, so do you guys have like any local, is it just local tournaments at different houses, or do you guys have like any local tour down there or anything like that that's organized?
Greg Tack runs, so it depends. There's a few different people that run events. There's a mix of like scratch and handicap stuff. The scratch stuff is more like Greg Tack, and he puts out impossible patterns like 22 feet, 8 mils, and then on the same pair will be like 54 feet, 40 mils. Have fun.
We had a discussion about this on Facebook today.
Go ahead. Sorry, Anthony doesn't know how to keep his mouth shut.
Sorry.
And then there's the Dougie Vision, the handicap stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of really it. I tend to travel more. I bowled like the Bud Light instead of bowling a local tournament, just because it makes more sense to bowl an event like that. I bowled my regionals now. I just bowl every weekend something.
So Greg just last year he did it too. There's a doubles tournament over under 50 here every year, and the last year and this year, I think last year was the first time. Mm-hmm. The tournament director employed Greg's services, and he came up with some 45 or 46 foot pattern. It was kind of very similar to the 2023 Masters, where it was try to get it to the gutter. The guy that owns the tournament, or whatever you want to call it,
he sponsors it.
Yeah, he loves to play the ditch. So basically, every pattern that he's going to create is going to be something that you can bank off the gutter, and he's right-handed. Anyway, so today, the pattern was announced.
I don't know, maybe like a few days ago.
And
something like that this week.
Yeah, it was like 35 mils, 35 feet, and an absolute cliff at 5.
Yeah, there's no oil outside of 5. Well, there might be like 1 or 2 loads, but it's pretty dry to the right, and then there's 35 units of oil inside of 5 to 5. So that's a normal Greg thing to do. Yeah. And there was a conversation today. Yes, it was me. I don't typically voice my opinions on the social medias.
No,
I asked a question, especially just because it's a local tournament. So it's good that you're bowling down there. So do you have any advice for me on how I should play this pattern? Since it is, I think, I don't even know. It's like 30, what is it? 35 mils.
35 mils.
Right inside 5. What do you do? What do you do when they're super dry to the right and super wet in the middle? What am I going to do here?
Vice versa.
240 at the gutter.
240 at the gutter. I mean, that's probably what I'm going to do.
Hook, stop.
Yeah, I'll probably play a little bit farther left. Deke said I can't play over to 5. Well, I might be able to, if I actually maybe tried. But normally I don't think I have to play that far left.
Jack Papow has a good answer for you.
Throw it with 2 hands. I'm not good enough. I'm getting there.
Jack Papow is the Town and Country high finisher.
6th place
at the Northeast Megabuck.
6th place in his division, roughly.
Something like that. He absolutely crushed it with his purple, and then switched to 3D offset.
I'm pretty sure he's bowling in the league right now.
He is right behind us. Well, down there a little bit.
Okay.
Sorry. But yeah, he had a great day. That was fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
I lost my train of thought. Oh, so where I was going with that was we do have a little tour that we're starting.
We're going to try and start. We're going to see where it goes.
We're doing a test tournament in April. And then we're going to fire it up next year as long as everything goes well. Maybe you'll have to drive up and make the 3-hour drive.
Is it that far? Are you about? Have you been to this area here in Albany, New York, or you've only been kind of that first time Chicopee, Mass was kind of your first time out that way? You've been to Glens Falls though.
Yeah, you went to Glens Falls.
I drive through Albany.
Yeah. Okay.
Just like everyone else.
Not a place to stop, really, but yeah, I mean. So you're saying that typically you don't bowl the closer events to you. You're typically traveling a little bit more often because it's more worth it for you to travel to the other places or farther away.
Yeah, well, the stuff. So like, I know the stuff up in your area. It's like 1,500 or 1,000 for first, and the same weekend, Dougie Vision, a handicap event, will run something on like 5 to 1. That's gonna pay maybe like 4,000 for first. That's like 2 hours closer.
Yeah.
So it's just like I would prefer to do that, but when it's the bigger payouts, I'm gonna bowl. I think Liz Colkin is trying to put a team together with her, myself, and Parker for a quad tournament. I think, or
Yeah, it's
I
a
don't
town
know.
team tournament, probably.
Oh yeah, the town team tournament. That'd be a good time.
So I
You'll
think I'm
crush
going
them
to
there.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Yeah,
That'll
it's
be
like
the-
4-1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even know what it is. Yeah, you'll do well up there. That's a pretty nice event to even go to. They get a ton of teams, and typically it's pretty popular. So that's a nice little thing. Have you bowled anywhere else besides Glens Falls? Around here that just Glens Falls so far?
ABC Gates, that's Rochester.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's further up there. And then,
Yeah. And you're bowling all the regionals too?
yeah, I bowled the Buffalo Junior Gold. I bowled at all those centers. That's a while back.
Wow.
I bowled in Buffalo in college.
We bowled at
That was
Airport
fun.
Lanes.
Mhm.
Airport Lanes is the only one that I've bowled in.
Thruway's gone now, right? Am I remember that right? I think it is.
I don't know. I've
You
never
guys
heard
are,
of
You
it.
guys are too young. Thruway Lanes. George just crushed that 4-1. Speaking of George wasn't there at the Megabuck. Guy absolutely steamrolls the bowling ball. And,
Oh yeah, that was good. Should have been there,
and
George.
He was not there. Shame on him. And Devin too. This is the freaking
There's a women's division.
the women's division.
You have to say.
Yeah. And shame on both of them. Shame on both of you for not coming this past weekend.
Okay.
That's all I have to say about that. Sorry.
Okay. Thanks for telling us.
So anyway, so the people around here do want to know about that tour. So if this was something, although it sounds like maybe not enough money, but it's based on 60, we're going to probably give out like $1,500 on top. But if we get more, we actually pay out more. It's not just a guaranteed top prize. It'll actually fluctuate based on the number of bowlers. So yeah, we're trying to start a small little tour, if you will, in this area. And pretty simple format, I think. Singles. We have about 27 doubles tournaments here in our area, so we're getting pretty sick of the doubles. So we wanted to bring back some single stuff. Do you guys have a lot of that doubles down there too?
It's a mix. There's like sometimes 5-man team, doubles, trios, singles. It's always changing.
Yeah, it seems like everybody up here is absolutely in love with the doubles tournaments. And we tried to figure out, or we talked about why we think maybe that is, but I don't know. I think it has maybe something to do with, you have somebody asking you like, oh, do you want to bowl? And they're like, okay. And then also you don't have to put all of the pressure on yourself, if it's more of a mentality thing. But yeah, hopefully we can get some of those doubles, not out of the picture, but add more singles to the lineup here, because it's just too much doubles going on.
I agree with you.
Thank you for that.
I don't know what else you want me to tell you. I mean, I just completely agree. And Tom Reed says, build it. They will come. We're going to try our best. Hopefully you can make it up here, Andrew, a few times. That'd be pretty cool.
They're all going to
hopefully-
be challenging. I don't think we're going to. What's our max that we're going to put the ratio at?
I don't know.
We set it.
5?
I think
5.5, 6?
No, that's way too high.
It was like 5.
I think it was the max was 5. Yeah. So they're all going to be pretty challenging.
Yeah.
Or somewhat challenging, unless you're left-handed throwing it off the gutter.
That's all we do. That's all we need to
Using
do.
Thane banging all day.
Big dot, second triangle.
I freaking love it. That's so
great.
right.
So what the heck was the first stop this year? I'm drawing a blank
For
already.
what?
For the tour, the actual real tour.
This year?
Yeah, coming up.
Isn't it the US
Middletown,
Open?
Delaware.
No.
Oh, it
yes.
is Middletown.
Yeah,
That's
there's
right.
There's a regular stop before. Thank you.
Did you bowl that one, the regional in the summer?
Yeah, I made the cut, and then I bowled like a total fool on Sunday. That was basically my whole regional season. Bowl like a total fool on Sunday.
Wow.
No.
That was also 45 feet. Where was I?
In another building.
I guess I'm just not. Anything over 42 feet, I might as well just stay home. You were on the gutter that day too?
No, I played really deep. Like I remember I got in front of the ball return the last game.
You got in front of the ball return in the last game. Wow, okay. So
Holy
apparently
crap.
I didn't play them the right way.
Because the righties crushed the fronts. They made them instant.
yeah.
Like, I remember one shot, Ryan Schaefer went like that over the fronts. He was like warming up his hands. They were so toasty.
That place does hook a mile in the front part of the lane anyways. Yeah, I did move right. I mean, I bowled that one obviously not well, which is typical. But yeah, I had kind of the same thing. But the more I moved right, I guess maybe I just didn't throw it good enough. I don't even remember what happened to that one. I just kind of left. I was like, I suck. Do you leave events like that? I mean, it seems like you make the cut more often than not, so you don't probably leave like, you probably don't leave like I do when I'm
Everybody has their
angry.
bad days.
No,
Everybody's
I
perfect
have a
every day.
lot of events where even if I finish second, like I'm riding on the car ride home is just no music, no anything, like dead silence, grip the steering wheel.
I'm pretty sure that's most bowlers, Anthony.
Yeah, but do they go without music? That is
Yeah.
the
You go without
Oh,
music
really?
and you scream and punch your car. That's
First
what
of
I
all,
would
he
do.
never said that.
I'm saying that's what I do.
No,
I
see,
turned my music up.
no, you just sit in
No,
silence.
you don't deserve to listen to music after you bowl bad.
You sit in silence, which is what he's saying. He never said
Yeah.
punch or do anything.
No.
Like,
I'm saying that's what I do.
I know. I drove home from the Masters with you, 9 hours.
You want to talk about sitting in silence?
We sat in silence for 9 hours on the way home from the Masters 2 years ago in Detroit because he didn't bowl the greatest. So like I'm literally driving, and I think I said like one thing to him, and he just kind of like looked at me, and I was like, "Well, I guess we're not talking on the way home."
That was a really bad.
That was horrible. That was the worst.
Really bad return ride.
And we did have the music on because I was in an okay mood because I ended up bowling okay. So, but yeah, Kyle didn't talk to me for 9 hours, and when he got home, he just threw his bowling balls into his
Driveway.
front yard and left them there for like a day or two.
There's maybe 2, maybe 3 days.
Don Harrington,
They
he
didn't-
plays anger music.
They didn't deserve to enter the house.
Well, I mean, they
Maybe
do.
actually the bowling ball should have went inside. I should have. I
was
should
about
have
to
stayed in the
say
driveway.
you should have not
Yeah.
been allowed in the house.
So-
that was frustrating.
So right now, what are your top 6? If you're gonna go somewhere and bowl, obviously you're traveling almost every weekend, right? It's almost every weekend. So if you're traveling every weekend, obviously let's set aside the urethane because I know that's what you're gonna bring. What other kind of
3
bowling
bags
balls
of
are you
those.
gonna bring for the people at home who might be looking to purchase a ball? What are your favorites right now?
Effector, definitely. And that's for like everything, house shot and the hard. Just have to adjust the surface to what you're bowling on.
I've seen some people
hazmat.
throw it. It makes everyone look good.
I like that, and he's agreeing.
I don't know what's the magic behind that thing.
I just think those tour covers with lower diff ASIMs they just blend the lane the right way.
Interesting.
So if you had to get out of urethane at Megabucks, what would you have done? Do you have a game plan for that? Did you throw anything else in practice while you were waiting?
No, because I only got 4 shots. Oh, no, down there, I only threw the black ball. I didn't even try my purples because I don't know. I stayed with it. I'm like, I have 20 more shots to win 20K. I think
if
it's
it
the
looks
black
good,
ball.
it looks good.
Well,
Yeah.
I was gonna say you dance with the girl you brought to the dance.
Dance with the girl that brung you.
Is that where you were going with? Because that's
I
what I
guess,
did
yeah.
too. That's what I did. I said, somebody's like, "You gonna switch if it's rolling bad?" I said, "No, I'm dancing with the girl I brought to the dance. Like this is the one that got me there. I'm taking it. We're gonna do it." See, he knows what I'm saying. I mean, this is
Make like a leaf and get out of here.
no, he gets it. This is why we're left-handed together. We completely understand each other.
Simple.
So yes, simple. That's
I might
it.
have to try one of these.
Hammer Effector.
Mhm.
Good thing I got one coming in tomorrow. That's good. Yeah, I kind of did the same thing last year. I kind of just used the purple hammer. It's probably the best way to go. Like you said, you only have 20 shots to go. You know that, especially with urethane, your move is going to be extremely limited. And then you guys bowled, I think you bowled on 25-26 in the semifinal match.
Yeah.
Close. Okay. And then where'd you go for the last match?
27-28. And then I got the tip that 28 hooks like 4 more in the front.
Okay.
And that was pretty close to true.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was deep enough to where my ball was in enough of the shape of the pattern and then just shot to the bank. And whenever it shot, it slowed down. So
Right.
I had enough, like, call it skid through the first, 10 feet of the lane. That's all that really mattered, where everyone else it would either get offline quick or they got it into the shim and never saw it. Like the lefty got up in the 10th and he just piped one, maybe a board in over his toe and it lazy 5-pin when he needed it.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I did notice that too. That I thought it was more pronounced on the Sunday squads. I thought that the oil was much more pronounced in the middle. I could definitely see more of I don't want to call it a wet dry, but I'm gonna call it a wet dry.
It was 100%.
Because I threw one a little in. You saw me miss a 3-pin. So yeah, you saw that. So I mean, I almost did the same thing in the first game. The next day, I threw it and it literally backed up for a 6 count. I'm like, man, they are extremely wet dry today. And then you said 28 hooked more in the championship match. I bowled on 21, 22, had a similar thing. Were you playing them both differently, or did you just try to throw one lane a little bit harder than the other? What was your thought there?
The approaches there are so slippery, and the only league I bowl is in a bolero house with wood approaches, so same thing, very slippery. So I actually couldn't throw it harder because I feel like I would just go through the foul line. I would be like, kissing the dots. So what I did was I just 2-and-1'd on that lane and made sure I shot it more left quicker because I knew I was in the oil, a little more oil.
It's so weird because Matt Fazzone, Matty Tuesdays, he was saying the same thing. Oh, the approaches are slick. I'm bringing my duct tape for my heel.
Never had that problem there.
I thought the approaches were great. Maybe it's because they're just like very similar to here. Maybe they're just kind of.
You guys wipe your shoes off in your pre-shot routine?
I hit it. I hit my hand on them, but it's not like super dusted. Like I wiping my shoe clean.
I scuff my sole every shot.
Last year I did. But this year I didn't.
If you're getting at how dirty the place is, I did have a black hand at the end of Saturday after bowling 12 games. Yeah, it was completely covered in whatever. I don't know if that was the balls or the shoe, wiping the shoe off every time. But
Are you using a rubber heel?
Yeah, I use a 1.
So you're trying to stop. Oh yeah. I mean, I don't really use that. I don't really use that the heavy heels where they really want you to stop. I think the 1 is the lowest, right? Like that's the one that wants to make you to stop the most. I can't use those. I have to use like the soft rubber.
I knew it was swollen.
I used to use a leather heel for reference, and like an S8 or an S10, which means probably why I throw it so slow because I can't fall over. Which is why I fell over for like 3 years.
That's true. You haven't fallen down in a long time.
I haven't fallen down since I switched.
All right, great. Now he's falling down tonight.
I bet you I'll fall down tonight. No problem.
Oh my God, we have many videos of that at nationals. And
yes.
Everywhere else.
Yeah. So you didn't have any problems. I didn't have any problems either. He had problems. You had problems, right? You were saying?
Yeah, he said it was slick. That's why he was slow.
Yeah, I went down from a S10 to an S9.
I did not have any issues.
One of those half and half ones, great. And
yeah,
that one's probably like from 2015. It's been through the ringer, but that's why I used it because it was not sliding.
Wow.
So do you come from a big bowling family? Where did bowling start for you?
Yeah, my parents met bowling, but I never started bowling until I was in like 5th grade, I think it was. I never had really interest. Like my parents got me a bowling ball when I was young, and every time I went to the bowling alley, it was more like to go play the arcade games, like nothing to do with bowling, unless it was like a birthday party. And then my one friend wanted to join a league, so we started like bowling together. That was around 5th grade, and then like shortly after, his career was done because a bowling ball fell on his head out of his locker, and he never bowled again. He was just like, "I'm done."
Whoa, that's a dangerous injury. Did he get hurt?
Yeah, concussion, everything. He was just like, "I'm never bowling again. This is it."
I would assume he would get hurt from a bowling ball.
Well, no kidding. But I mean, to be traumatized and kind of say like, I'm never bowling again would either be a serious injury or like you think that bowling balls fall out of lockers on people's heads on a regular occurrence.
Like, you never know.
Like he's gonna walk in
12
once a week.
He was 12.
I know, but like
give the kid a break.
You're gonna
Kyle.
walk into the bowling alley and like with a steel umbrella.
Yeah, you don't see the signs all over the place.
Watch out for
falling
bowling
balls.
Man, that poor kid. Anyway, sorry to make fun of your friend. I don't know him at all, but
no.
This is
I haven't talked to him since actually.
Freaking loser. So bowl high school. Did you bowl any college? What's your
I bowled in high school. Our team dominated New Jersey high school state bowling. I also really crushed it. I was boys bowler of the year a few years. I won short conference a few times, a few state titles. Like we set a state scoring record, stuff like that. Then I went to McKendree University, and that just, I don't know, wasn't it.
Really?
Yeah, a little bit of me, a little bit of the program, a little bit, mix everything. I lost my mom probably the year before I went out there, and
that's not good for your mental state.
Yeah, it wasn't just in the right space, And I thought, going out there would be the answer. I'm achieving my goals. These are the things that, I set for myself and everything. And then you get out there, and it's just like, it's not what you thought it was.
Is that the years with Shannon and Brian?
Yeah, they're awesome. You know, nothing ill against them. It's just
not what you expected.
Yeah, it's
Sure.
just not what it was that you.
Did you go bowl any other school, or did you just not?
No, I took a gap year and I came back home, worked for my family's company for a little bit, and then I was like, you know what, I'll try it again because I loved my friends and everything, and I had a good group of guys I was going with and everything. I guess with COVID, they were getting extra years eligibility, so it would all work out. And I went back and same thing. Within 3 months, I'm like, what am I doing out here? It's just such a different pace of life. That's really what it is. You know, you go out there, it's cornfields, and everyone drives 55 miles an hour. Where down by me, it's like the water's everywhere and everyone's doing 85, 90 when you get on the freeway.
Honking horns.
Yeah.
I mean, cornfields are cool. If you want to see UFOs and stuff, you know what I mean? And the crop circles. Right? I mean,
yeah, that's right. Yeah, sure.
Cornfield. Yeah, if you're looking for aliens, I like that.
So then you went straight into you bowl regionals or just local stuff, or what did you do after that?
I actually quit bowling for a year and a half. Never thought I was going to do it again. My little brother made fun of me, kind of calling me a waste of talent. And that just
aggressive.
Yeah, that absolute. I woke up like basically it was like, yeah, that I'm a waste of talent. I called my pro shop operator. I'm like, hey, any chance I can drill 3 bowling balls by Friday? The county tournament's this weekend, and I'm signing up. So I went in Friday night. After hours, I drilled 3 balls. Haven't been in the bowling alley in a year and a half. Just bing bang boom. I went to the bowling center, my local bowling center, that morning. Through 1 game of practice, and I ended up winning the county masters.
And what'd your brother say?
He ate his words.
Do you think that there was a little agreement between your brother and the pro shop to try to sell you 3 balls?
Well,
or at least get you back
so
in?
I was still on staff at the time, and I actually used to work in the pro shop.
Oh, okay.
So I just went in, drilled the balls, and then sent him 3 staff balls.
Gotcha. That's pretty funny. So how'd you get hooked up with Neotech?
That's actually a cool story, I think. We were cleaning out the house, and I guess back in high school, I bought some of their product at a pro shop, and we found it recently. And I used it, and I bowled 800 at league, and I just tagged them on Facebook, like, oh, hook it works or whatever, made some comment. And he reached out to me. He was like, look, I'll send you some product, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, I would love that. But, I'm on staff. Like, not really looking for anything there. But if you would like to sponsor a youth clinic I'm having a youth clinic next month, that I think would mean more to me. So Frank ends up sponsoring my youth clinic. And from there, the relationship just started to eventually where I just asked him, like, hey, do you have any positions? And that's where now I'm a product specialist for them.
Nice. Go from tagging them on Facebook to which I think like everybody does now. It's like the thing, like whether you're on staff or not, they're like, oh, I bowled a 300 with this ball that I got drilled for whoever.
Frank's pretty cool though, because Frank is he's pretty responsive. He sponsored the tournament club for a year.
Yep.
Super good guy, and we actually still sell the product today. Like the Hook It stuff is probably some of the best stuff on the market. It's not even really close in my opinion. That stuff is fantastic.
Yeah, the guys buy the full spray bottles.
I get like we do like the big 40 ounces. Like I'll
Yeah.
do the huge ones for guys because once it like they realize how much it works and how well it works, it's a no-brainer really. I mean, it is a really good product, and I use it on my stuff. I got to clean some stuff. So yeah, I think that's a great product. It's a good brand, good company, and Frank's a super good guy. So good for you. That's awesome.
And he's gonna have to sponsor the Players Tour.
Jesus, Kyle.
I'm not afraid to stick my neck out, even if it's gonna get chopped.
That's okay. Well, Frank's a good guy, and he's even got oil and stuff too. He sent us a few oil
I
things
saw that on
here.
their website.
Yeah, he uses black gold. My dad liked black gold for a long time. He's got the new stuff like I can't remember exactly what it's called, so I apologize, Frank.
High score.
Yes, there's high score. Yep.
We had some. I think he sent us that a while ago to try because my dad used some of his black gold. Man, when we had the wood lanes.
Oh yeah, dude. Well, there's also nothing beats wood. Like
10 years ago.
I'm just saying, like wood by far is the best surface to bowl on. I don't think there's anything close.
Black gold, good oil. That was a good oil right there.
But there must be what are the discussions, behind the scenes then at places like that make oil? Because you've got lane machine manufacturers putting in there that you're going to kind of void your warranty or whatever if you use I'll say Kegel or Brunswick or whatever oils. So like, what are there any? Is there any care at Neotech or other companies that the lane machines are going to do that, or do most proprietors just not even care about that warranty setup?
I actually don't even talk to people that like get an Atlas or something like that. Just because I understand how the industry is. I don't know if I'm allowed to voice really my opinions and how I feel about it.
So I'll guess that the warranty is then if you use a different product from the Atlas machine, which is Kegel, they basically void your warranty if you're using any other product in their machine. So you're probably going to say that, it's kind of crazy because what does oil really destroy the lane machine? No, they're just trying to sell more of their product.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have to say it. I'll say it for you.
So then what are your customers? What's your customer base? Like, I don't know that I've walked into a bowling center as of late and seen anything but a Flex or an Atlas.
Some Flexes are 8 years old by now.
Well,
so
right. So that's very true.
So I have a few centers that run a Flex machine using our products.
So you're just saying Atlas because they're so brand new.
Yeah.
I got
they're probably, or the Icon, I think it is, those machines are still within their warranty. And I'm not even going to try to, twist the proprietor's arms. I respect your business. I understand those machines are not always reliable like we want them to be. And I understand that Kegel is great with their warranty service to where if you need a new machine, you're not paying out of pocket yet again.
That happened here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you just pay the shipping cost, but
yeah,
we did get a different machine because the other one was acting funny. Turns out that the charger plug was broken. So,
something as simple as that.
Well, yeah. Well, I guess what happened in transport, it was like basically crumbled apart. Not to go aside from the conversation. So, was that machine really being charged up to work at full capacity, or was it not?
Right.
So it was a whole kind of thing. And by the time we really figured it out, and then we changed it, the machine worked pretty good. But by that time, we already yelled at Kegel enough to say, "We're not taking this. You better take it back." So they took it back. But yeah. So basically, you
only had a few hundred lanes on it, right? When,
it was one from the Open Championships. Yeah. So you basically, are you working with all the cleaning product too, like with all the Surface ones as well, Surface Pro, I think it's called, with all the grits in that, you're doing all that stuff. There we go. Yeah. Those ones are good too. I don't really take a lot of the Surface Pro people don't really, for me at least, they don't really look for it. They look for that Neotech, the green bottle anyways, because a lot of our people don't really surface their equipment too much, especially for the league guys. But I have used the Surface Pro. He sent us some stuff for the tournament club. That stuff was really cool too. Is there any new products on the horizon that maybe you're using? Like you can give us like there's some stuff coming, or
No, I think we're kind of doing the opposite, just preparing for political changes and everything, and what's going on with possible tariffs. That we're actually going to reduce bottle size and go to less, more of the main products that we see our consumers using.
Okay. Yeah, you're gonna shrink the what is it, the product, like the scale of it.
The mold. The main thing is plastics with the mold. Because where we're sourcing our plastics from, they're going to go through the roof per gram. So we have to go down to smaller.
If the tariffs are installed, which historically they have not been. But anyway, go ahead. I digress.
I was just asking questions.
So yeah, I think that's kind of some of our idea planning for that. And I also think like it just does make sense. The bowling pin bottles are a little clunky for the bowling bag.
Yeah.
Well, they got to be pricey having your own
bottles. Better
too,
for
right?
league.
It must be a little pricey having to mold out a bowling pin or whatever. Although they are recognizable.
Oh, they're awesome. Yeah. I love that. Yeah, you go somewhere, you know exactly what it is too.
Exactly.
You're definitely right. Some of it it's a little bit bulky. I've had a few guys break in there and stuff like that. But other than that, I mean, it's just because there's a bowling ball in your bowling bag, people. So they got to realize that too.
Yeah.
The spray.
Which is why the totes were probably the best thing ever created, because you put everything in your backpack.
Yeah.
And then you don't have to worry, unless it gets on your shoes. But then you don't have to worry about the who?
What? We had a kid who bowled Thursday night. He had a big 40 ouncer. and he throws his bag around, right? And so the
no.
freaking thing just unscrewed, went all over his shoe, destroyed. And it's a strong product, so it pulls crap off, right? Yeah, you know, you're yeah, you know. And it literally destroyed his slide pad. And I'm like, dude, like you would think that with a liquid that cleans your bowling balls, you would probably not have it in there and keep it at your house, or you would like not throw your bag.
Right.
He's like, what am I gonna do now?
I made a Facebook post about the cleaner one time, and some guy comments on it. He was like, be careful where you spray this. I sprayed it on my carpet and let it soak with the bowling ball. And I guess like it seeped off the bowling ball. And he's like, and it completely destroyed my carpet. I'm like, yeah, like
it's basically a solvent, right? So yeah, of course it's gonna melt it down.
Yeah, that's some of the funny stuff that you see. Yeah, don't it pulled my car. Yeah, well, it's not meant for your carpet. It's meant for your bowling ball.
Yeah, hard surfaces only.
Yes.
All right, Andrew. Well, it has been already an hour of us chatting, so I really appreciate you coming on tonight. Congratulations on that $20,000.
Way to keep it in the left-handed hand.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you.
We got to try either back to back or you snag it off next year. Keep it on the left.
Yes,
Easy,
keep
easy,
it on the
easy.
left, baby.
Listen, it's one righty, two lefties.
Yeah, we don't care about you guys. It's just shh.
Let's get another
Lefty.
righty in there.
And I will say, I will give you advice because I had to do it one time. Make sure you put away a couple thousand for the taxes. I'm not sure how New Jersey is.
I'm going to purchase all my PTQs this year. Bowling expense deduction.
Nice.
Make sure you write your leagues off. That's practice as well. Trust me. Good.
Go play the lottery too.
Do whatever you can. Make sure you set a little bit aside for yourself because I had to pay at the end of the year. I knew it was gonna happen. It was a little more than I expected. But you know, I will say put a little bit aside just to make sure that you're all set, and then write as much off as you can. I don't know if am I allowed to say that. I can say that, right? Write off as much as you can.
It's the law, dude.
All right, no, I'm just making sure. Like, hey, I'm gonna say it, man. Write it off. You know, all the bowling balls, all the
go
leagues.
to the track, scoop up all the
do it all, baby. Do it all.
the losing tickets from the horse track.
Dude, I've literally watched people do that. They won their they're over 600 or a couple grand or something, and I'm watching these old guys like scooping up tickets, and I'm like, because this is when I was a kid. I'm like, Mom, what's going on? And they're like, they won big. Leave them alone. I'm like, okay,
that's awesome.
Yeah. Keep yourself a couple thousand. You know what? Make sure you go get yourself something nice or a little vacation somewhere in there. Don't spend it all on bowling. I know how much we love to bowl because I love to bowl too, but make sure you give yourself some time
It's
there.
all going to the. I mean, hopefully you win some this year, but it's all going to the PTQ and its travel.
Listen, I completely agree. If you're gonna do it, do it. But you know, that would be my two things. I would save some for taxes.
100% right.
And give we went on vacation for our first year anniversary. It was just a few days. Even if it's a few days, make sure you take some time for yourself with that money, and I hope you enjoy it all.
He is taking some time for himself. He's going on the tour all by himself.
Yeah.
Hey, you need a roommate. I need a roommate for the Masters. Just let me know, brother.
Actually, maybe, yeah, because I won the State Masters this year, so I have a free spot for that. So
what don't you win?
PBA events, the band.
All right. Well,
he doesn't bowl well on Sunday, remember?
Well, no, he did this Sunday.
Well,
he bowled great this Sunday.
Because there's no banner hanging up.
No, there is.
Yeah, there is.
There is.
It's in the vestibule.
Yes.
Anthony's got
I
two.
got a banner now?
Yeah, you're going to get two, and I have two, and we're going to keep it in the Lefty family, baby.
You get a division banner and a champion banner.
Yeah, I'll grab your number from Kyle, and I'll shoot you a text a little bit later on. You can see what you're doing, but that way, maybe we need somebody.
All right, Andrew, thanks so much. Good luck on the tour this year. Hopefully we see you on TV or at least cashing and making some big dollars.
Yeah.
Appreciate you guys for having me. And
thanks for coming on.
Best of luck for the year, brother.
You.
All right. $20,000 champion, Andrew Lazarchick.
I can finally take this thing off.
What's it like being in the presence of
You mean
not co-champion?
Present of a champion? A real champion?
No, I mean like someone that did the same thing as you.
It's cool. I think I'll be honest. I think that the field that he came out of was a little bit stronger than mine was. There was a lot of really good players there when we went there for the first round. As much as I griped about the whole thing because that's what we do as bowlers, we complain.
Yeah.
There was a lot of really good players there. You look to your right from every pair in our division, and there was a absolute stud
Yeah, I mean, I was
or
there,
five,
so.
or five, or it didn't matter how many was on your pair. There was at least 99% of the field was studs. I was probably the 1% that wasn't, which I understand. I had Brandon Bone to my right, Andrew Hall to my right. He was in my division. We bowled some kid from Sweden who shot 300. We had one of the top junior bowlers in our division. I bowled against Michael Martell, second place at the USBC Masters. Fazone was on our pair. Pete Fox, who's also a PBA guy. I mean, no, it was Brandon Boyer was there, another fantastic player. So, I mean, you just looked across and the people that were there deserved to be there. Me, I bowled good in that center, so I got lucky enough to be there for a third year in a row. Actually, I made it for the third year in a row. So yeah, it was definitely very solid. I don't know. I didn't really get to watch your division too much. I don't know as many people in your division. I knew some of the older guys, like Lichstein was there, Van Bogart, Ventura, Bobby Fleetwood. There was a bunch of really good players there. Deke was there. Yeah, Deke was there. It was a really good mixture of players, a lot of really good players. So I think that his field might have been a little bit stronger, just because of, the word's getting out and people are coming to bowl. Yeah. And plus you had that Kegel kid, Kamehameha, Dragon Ball Z kid, whatever hand he uses. He was there too. So he is pretty good as well. So across the board, I mean, that was an extremely strong field. Yeah. And I have to give him a lot of credit. Seems like he keeps it simple, which is exactly what I like. And he stood in the same spot through Black Hammer. Smart kid.
It's incredible.
Good bowling.
All right, well, it is time for us to go bowling, so don't forget to like, subscribe, click the bell to get alerts from the channel. If you can't watch on YouTube or Facebook, you can always download and listen via your favorite podcast service. And give us that thumbs up, 5-star review, heart symbol, whatever. All right. And Austin's giving us a thumbs up. Oh, he gave us a thumbs up. I get it.
Do you want to elaborate on the Players Tour while we're here a little bit more?
Real quick. We have 2 seconds.
I didn't want to take away from his spotlight.
I know. 2 seconds. Players Tour is coming up. The Players Tour is being launched in 2025.
Yep.
In the capital region, there is no true boundary, but it is based here in the capital region. Singles tour. It is singles format. I mean, I think all of our events are going to be stepladder finals.
We'll probably have a few different ones to take a look at, but right now, for the April 27th one, I think that's the date. We're looking at qualifying, and then cashers round. We're hoping that pins are going to carry over and then go into a stepladder final. We're looking to have 2 separate divisions. We're going to have roughly 55 and under, or 54 and under, and then a 55 and over plus women. So there will be a different division for the seniors and the women to bowl. We'll have another open division 54 under. And then after you qualify in your division, you will be put into basically one division at that point. Everybody will cash. Pins will carry over.
Into the same.
Yep, everybody advances to the same division. Pins will carry over. Once that happens, the top 4 after another 3 games will make it to the step ladder. That way, the person who did qualify the highest will have their advantage because they did do the best. So we are going to try and bring something like that back because there are a lot of doubles, and it's great to have doubles. At the same time, I would like to have a few singles. So for the people who are listening and were wondering about it, it is kind of a trial tournament. We already have a tournament director to run these events. We have a tournament director for this. We're going to try and obviously with the bracket money and stuff like that, we're going to try and the bracket money will take $5 a bracket like normal, and we're going to try and reinvest it back into tournament software, as well as we're going to try and get some like computer TVs and stuff to run brackets on, so we don't need a printer, and for some other expenses that we'll need in the upcoming season. Looks like we're going to be at Boulevard Bowl. Bowl agreed to host.
Revolution's open.
Revolution's open. Revolution's Pro Shop is going to sponsor if we need to get more.
Whether Brian knows it or not.
Yep. We're going to have that. So it is going to be a scratch for all the people looking at that. It's going to be a scratch competition. We're going to try and make it as affordable as possible, but still having a decent payout for everybody to make it worthwhile being there. So,
dude, when Andrew said that they bowl for $4,000 down there, I'm like, well, how the heck do we do that? I have an idea. We need sponsors. So once we get our first tournament out of the way, I'll be taking phone calls for tournament sponsor and tour sponsors. So if you got a company that likes to spend money on marketing,
we're the guys to talk to.
The Players Tour is where it's at.
We're going to try and also live stream some of the events and things like that so people can keep up. That way there doesn't have to be a TV show. That way we do kind of have our own show, I would call it. Yeah. We're going to try our best to do that. You know, obviously this is a tall task. We have a great group of guys who are going to try and put it together. and more information to come. But if you are looking for, that is kind of the basic information you'll need to know for this event coming up. It is a little late in the year too, but unfortunately everything's already been booked up. Yeah, so we are going to be a little bit later to avoid Easter and some other things like that. But we appreciate you listening to our TED Talk.
All right. So anybody in the Capital Region or that wants to travel to the Capital Region for that, like Anthony said, Boulevard Bowl, will go to Facebook and look up the Players Tour. We're going to put together a website hopefully very soon, all that good stuff. And there will be Player of the Year points next year once the
we're
tour
going to try our
is,
best. Yes, we're going to try our best.
No, it will happen. All right.
Okay, it'll happen. We're going to try our best.
Sounds like we got a lot of people, so
we've got a lot of interest, but you got to get them here. For all the people wondering, Capital Region, like we are hoping to get to the Adirondack as well, which is about an hour and a half away, and over to Troy and over to Albany and all these places. So,
but those are the basic details. We'll iron out the rules and schedule and all the pertinent stuff that you need to know. That's absolutely necessary. ASAP.
Absolutely not, George. I'm coming back.
George, I will say, I might have another team slot open if anybody's looking to play ball. Yeah, I had a team back out today. The team on the waiting list said that they didn't have any money, and then the other people on my waiting list haven't answered me yet. So if anybody's looking for a spot, just message me, and I will get you in as soon as possible. We're currently at 23 teams. I will take care of it. Don't worry.
All right, guys.
I'm good at what I do.
That's it. So we are going bowling. Thank you to Jack Scaccia, proprietor of Town & Country Lanes. Austin Van Buren, great job tonight. Anthony, good show.
Wow.
Thank you to my family, Stephanie, Zach, and Ethan.
Jam bread.
We will see you guys next week. This is Down Lane Podcast.